Muka was the first scan tool company to launch AI diagnostic integration on the 892BT. Xtool has followed with the Xtool AI Assistant, and I'm sure there are other scanner brands out there that have integrated AI into their tools. However, I don't believe this is the right way to go, and I have a more pragmatic proposal which I'm keen to share today. I'll cover the challenges I've encountered with current scanner AI models, and then zone in on the approach that I'm proposing. I'm hoping we can have some good discussion in the comments. Now let's get this. Just to say that I'm not directly bashing these two scan tool companies or their products. These are two good scanners which I've reviewed and recommended in the past. They both support bidirectional testing, ECU coding and all of that. It's just that in addition to this, they've included their in-house AI assistants as a selling feature for these tools. However, my central point here is that AI integration on scanners is not yet a factor that should tip the scale when it comes to choosing which tool you want to get. And for the reasons, I'll start out with the Muka, which broke the ground on this. When I reviewed the 892BT about a year ago, I mentioned two challenges with Muka AI, where it responded to a query in a strange language, which I later got to know is Chinese. But more importantly, it said that the 83-11 DTC I had on my 2017 Accord was a code you get in washing machines and not cars. Well, Muka rolled out an update, and I again repeated this test of the Muka AI assistant with the same code. Although it made no reference to washing machines this time, it just gave this weird response based on the support list. Honda is listed, therefore it's supported. What does that even mean? I then went ahead to clarify a bit further by saying DTC 83-11 Honda. This time, it gave an intelligent response that seems to be for the 83-11 code, even though the code wasn't really mentioned in the response. And so I go ahead to ask, what DTC are you referring to? And it repeats the same unintelligent response he gave earlier. Clearly there's some development or optimization needed here. By the way, this code is a Honda specific code. Switching gears to Xtool, Xtool rolled out an update that launched the Xtool AI assistant across their scanners. However, while it gave good responses to straightforward DTC queries just like the Muka, it had its own demons. The first being that I clicked on one of the search options suggested by the Xtool AI assistant, and that's the diagnostic report integration tutorial, and for some reason it responded in a totally new language which I got to later know was Polish. Furthermore, when I translated the response, it was also out of context. The second issue I had with Xtool AI is that when you submit some queries to the AI assistant, it continues to do as if it's going to respond, but it never generates a response no matter how long you wait. The issue I suspect here is that it's very resource intensive to build a good AI model, and I'm not certain that a lot of third-party scan tool companies can afford these resources, or even where they can, I'm not sure they're dedicating the amount of time and resources required. Maybe that's the reason why Apple eventually caved in and is going to be using Google Gemini for the next upgrade to Siri. Also, regarding the freezes or lack of a response experienced on both tools, could it be that the heavy computing required to run some of these queries is actually weighing heavily on the scanner's processor, which isn't designed to handle the kind of computing power that AI queries demand? I think there's a simple fix to this. For scan tool companies, rather than integrate AI on the tool itself, why not leverage it off the tool? And that's why I like how the K8 Pro, which I reviewed recently, approached this. They simply made it that once you click on a DTC from a scan report, it takes you to Google Chrome, and the AI summaries you now have in search results becomes that powerful external tool which you can use for your troubleshooting and queries instead of bogging down the scanner's resources with these integrated models. Just to be sure, I went ahead to enter the Honda specific 83-11 code on Google Chrome right on the Muka 892BT, which you will recall struggled with the code on its AI assistant. The response from Google Gemini was solid, breaking it down by why you have the code and how to go about troubleshooting and repairing it. As I said earlier, AI integration is not yet in my books a reason for which to choose one scanner over over the other. I'm keen to hear your thoughts in the comments. Links to these tools are going to be down below just in case you want to have a look. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you've loved this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!